Good morning, everybody. We are Shoreline Construction. My name is Chloe Gonzalez, and I will be your project manager for the 701 Rio project and 707 Rio edition. So today, with the limited amount of time given, we just wanted to hit the highlights of our proposal. And this will follow the order of project overview, introductions of our expert team, a little review of our estimate of our project execution plan, some schedule highlights, our safety plan, our quality control plan, and then finally our path forward. 701 Rio is a 124,000 square foot core and shell office building in downtown Austin, Texas. It features 296 underground parking spaces in a 5-story parking structure. There's also a rooftop terrace that's approximately 6,400 square feet. As for 707 Rio, it's approximately 4,000 square feet, and it features a bridge that's 42 feet long and connects the two structures. They are cast-in-place structures and feature glazing and masonry as their exterior. The main building, 701 Rio, will feature an Austin Energy Green Building 1-star rating. And now I want to introduce you to the rest of our amazing team. These dedicated individuals have all been with Shoreline for a long time and know that we're dedicated to the projects and the clients that we have.
Michael Bailey, lead superintendent. Been with the company since the beginning in 1990.
I'm Jenna Marcy, the safety manager, and I've been with Shoreline Construction for 8 years.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Garish. I am serving as your pre-construction manager, and I have been with Shoreline for 10 years. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the project cost. We budgeted a total of approximately $39.7 million, with 72% of that being towards the original 701 Rio project. We have 3% budgeted towards the addition, and then our general conditions and fees make up 25% of that cost. Diving into more of the general conditions, what's included, we're going to carry the tower crane and the hoisting, as that's part of our self-performed work. We're also going to carry on a full-time on-site safety manager as well as a security guard, which Jenna will touch on later. We're also going to carry some more COVID-19 precautions, which will include site sanitization twice a day. What we're not including is going to be permits and testing, as well as on-site personnel parking for the first part of the project. And then safety will be self-performed as well, so that's not in the general conditions, but you'll find it in our actual estimate proposal later on.
Our project execution plan features an aggressive start that we're very proud of because it outlines the project and lays the groundwork for the rest of it. It features a streamlined submittal process as well as getting our subcontractors involved early on. As we have worked in Austin for a long time, we have a pool of subcontractors ready and willing to work with us if needed. We also are a completely women-owned company since our founding in 1990, and as it is Women in Construction Week, we're so excited to be here representing. Because of this, we're dedicated to making a 10% commitment above the owner's asking of 8%. As for our job site technology, to the right you can see some of the things we use. If you want to learn any more about all of these, you can check out our proposal, but just to feature one, OpenSpace is an AI technology that we use to take 360 video and pictures around the site to give the owner a clear image of everything that's being done and to have a full record of the as-built conditions.
So we're going to talk a little bit here about the milestones and target dates. So we're going to mobilize as soon as we get the notice to proceed. On 4/17, notice proceed, mobilization 4/18. Right after that, we're going to start site work, which comes after the demolition, which will be at the building permit 5/1. Garage interiors, we plan to get pretty aggressive with that by going ahead and starting in February. Then we're going to go ahead and start the office interiors after we've gone out of the garage. We plan to start with both of the interiors after we're 3 slabs above. By breaking our pours into 2 pours, it allows us to go ahead and stagger on up. That way it allows us to have a better way of moving forward faster and using less formwork. Then we're going to go ahead and start the bridge work on 6/15. This will come after we go ahead and stress the level 3 floor. We'll complete the garage interior about 5 months after we start it, just going in there, putting in the curbs, the bollards, the striping, the curved mirrors, all the fun things like that. Start the additional office 7/31. That comes about a month and a half after we've started the bridge. This will allow us, one, access through the bridge and the building, and two, we plan to demo the roof to allow the stairs and the elevator to both come onto the third story. This gives us complete access to that rooftop and allows us to move forward. Then we will complete the bridge work 9/15. That gives us about 3 months to get the masonry, the glazing, the flooring, the drywall along the sides, the electrical, all the fun stuff put inside of that bridge. Then after that, we have dry-in 10/18, 2023. And this, y'all might think, you know, that might be a later milestone, but Austin's pretty dry. And by the way that we have it phased, that is complete 100% last window put in, TPO's down. But being that we are doing it in the little sections, it allows us to pretty much wrap up the floors as we're going up, and with that final window going in 10/18. Substantial completion comes 2 days after Christmas on 12/27, and then after that we have about 2 months to go through there, wrap it all up, do the punch out, the close out, the owner training, any questions, whatever we need to do to make sure you all are comfortable taking over the building, moving forward with it. And then that leaves us with February 15th as our grand opening.
Shoreline Safety Team has identified the top 5 hazards and risks of the project to be the tower crane operation, significant underground work, falling objects, public interface, and the adjacent building and roadways. To dive deeper into these hazards, due to the proximity of the historic building next door and the roadways, we have installed a trolley lock system on our tower crane, as well as identified no-fly zones to mitigate any tower crane hazards. With the depth of the underground work, we intend to hire an experienced and reputable excavation subcontractor in the Austin, Texas area who will develop a detailed excavation plan that will allow us to mitigate any excavation hazards and keep our workers safe during that significant process in the construction. With falling objects being another significant hazard of the project, we will have outrigger netting and perimeter netting on all 4 sides of the building to ensure that no tools or any materials are falling down and potentially injuring workers below or pedestrians who may be on the streets. In terms of public interface, we will have signage all around the site to ensure that the public is aware of the hazards of potentially entering the site, as well as a guard who will be patrolling around our site during all working hours to ensure that no unauthorized personnel are gaining access to our active construction zone. We will also have a seismic monitoring system installed in the historic building next door that will monitor the vibrations caused by excavation, demolition, piling, concrete work, things like that, to ensure that the structure and stability of that building remains intact throughout the duration of the project. We also have a COVID response plan, and Shoreline Construction intends to comply with all CDC and local ordinances that are given by the City of Austin.
As for our quality assurance and quality control plan, we believe that quality starts day one on a project. So in order to do this, we have our subcontractors keep detailed documentation, and that'll be maintained by our site superintendent, making sure that they're providing quality work, billing for the right things, those kinds of things. As for detailed commissioning, as Brooklyn mentioned earlier, we just want to make sure we're providing the right testing, doing it in a timely and efficient manner so the owner can get what they need when they need it. We're going to be using Procore for punch tracking, and we're actually going to be using Procore for everything. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything owner, subcontractor, and contractor related, so that all points of contact is running through that. Everyone has the same up-to-date documents, and we can hold everyone accountable for what work has yet to be done and what's already been done. We created a glass protection plan for some special glass going on the east side of the wall, and we've planned to have heated Connex boxes on the site, which you can see in our site utilization plan where those are located. And we've already discussed with the Austin Fire Department the regulations of that, and that would just be for a short time, excuse me, in the winter if we need that extra protection so the glass doesn't get damaged.
And the path moving forward, a great quote, it's not about having the right opportunities, it's about handling the opportunities right. This is what we believe that we can do here at Shoreline Construction. Y'all are here presenting us with the right opportunity, and we believe that we can handle it right. We hope that we have convinced you all today that this right here is the team and the way that we should move about with this project, and we look forward to working with you all in the future. And you know what we say at Shoreline Construction. We are Shoreline.
Thank you.
Oh, we're going to come shake your hands again? You know what? We'll stay for
stay up
questions.
here.
We're just so excited.
Good morning.
Morning.
First of all, I want to applaud you for having more females on the stage than male. That's the future of construction. Thank you so much. My question, on your estimate, I don't know if that's for Brooklyn or Chloe, your GC is about 25% of the budget,
Yes.
which is very high. So I was wondering if you had any contingencies in that GC, and if you are willing to share that contingency, how you use it, how you spend it, and if there is any money left over going to go back to the owner or not. So.
Yep, I totally understand your worry with that very large percentage. We have carried that much general conditions just due to 707 being design build. With the conceptual estimate or the conceptual drawings, we weren't given too much information, so we had to make a bunch of assumptions. So that is covered all in that price. Any other comments on that?
We also are carrying our contractor fees and bonds and insurance, being that we do not know the build out, whatever is going to be coming in after that. We do have contingencies for that, along with we have the contingencies for the Corona as per the additional addendum. So we've tried to wrap everything up into that to present one pretty wrapped up number, and whatever's left over, run over, we definitely plan to give back as they are owner contingencies. So we plan to hopefully write you all a check at the end of the project.
So you're going to have heated Connex boxes and a tower crane on site. Have you coordinated with the local utilities to make sure that you have enough power available in the current vault to power all of those things? Or are you going to bring in diesel generators and run them 24 hours a day to keep everything powered up? And if you are, is that cost going to come back on us?
So that is a great question, and that is why under subcontractor priority number 1, in our proposal, we plan to get the electrical contract out immediately, coordinating with Austin Energy to go ahead and redo the 2 power vaults that are right there, install one and redo the other one. That way we can bring power to the building immediately to have the tower crane up and moving as soon as we can get down into the ground. And being that we have such a long lead time in excavation, I think it was like 7 or 8 months. That gives us enough time to go in there, do the power vaults, get all the approved plans, and bring power to the site.
Question for you. So I noticed you excluded any on-site parking. So what is your peak manpower on the job, and where do you intend to put all these people to get to the job?
So parking, we do have an exclusion for parking, being that there is so much surface parking in the surrounding areas, and we believe that we would pass that off to the subcontractors. After we complete the garage interiors, we plan to actually bring them in and park on site, because that will be when our main peak manpower load is, due to them finishing out level 1. You start the bridge work, you start all the exterior work, and so that will be able to account for our peak manpower.
Nice. I was looking at your schedule. You guys do start interiors well in advance of your dry-in. So you did mention, wrapping the glazing, kind of going with that. In terms of all in-slab penetrations, how are you going to ensure the quality of any water infiltration with interiors starting well before dry-in?
So to handle that question, we believe that due to the weather and the time frame that we plan to be drying in, we believe that the drywall mainly is going to be in the interior, and with the slab above it, we plan to have all the coverings, the openings covered. That will prevent water from going down. We plan to seal everything up with temporary water as we are moving through with the drywall and all the fun things like that to prevent any damage. And that's also in each one of our schedule breakdowns. Each floor gets 15 days of punch work, and if there was any work that was missed or messed up due to an aggressive start, we were trying to get the pro forma out as fast as we could for Hensel Phelps. That way it allows everyone to make more money.
Chloe, this question's for you.
Okay.
So earlier you mentioned that you have already had discussions with the Austin Fire Department regarding the temporary heated storage. What were some of the requirements of the fire department in those discussions?
It was mostly about location of the boxes. Since it is such a limited site, we had to have certain barriers of distance around them because it could be a fire hazard if anything was too close. But because of the length of time that we were hoping to have them, which is not very long, it didn't pose too much of a problem. And we're only really planning for one, not too many on the site, so it wasn't that big of an issue.
Quick question for you guys. You noted that one of your top 5 safety concerns was public interface. You said that you guys have netting up above on the slabs. Do you guys foresee the need for an additional pedestrian canopy along Rio Street?
Yes, we've also included covered walkways around the perimeter of the site so that pedestrians can continue to access those roads and sidewalks that may have been there or will be there in the future, so they can safely navigate around the site and keep everyone safe and prevent any other hazards moving forward.
A quick question for everyone. On the schedule milestone slide, it looked like you all had substantial completion prior to punch list. Is that accurate? Or are we planning on, if you guys are selected, planning on walking through and doing a punch list and then asking for substantial?
So that is a great question. We actually plan to do 2 separate rounds of punches. So each floor, as we finish it up, we were planned to punch each floor. We lock out that floor and we move on to the next floor. That way we prevent traffic and all kinds of things from damaging that possible area. And then after substantial completion, to your point, we do have 4 weeks of punch work that say something got damaged, something needs help, someone dragged something through a drywall and hit another piece of drywall. I mean, we understand that it happens, and so we tried to cover it both after substantial completion and before substantial completion, depending on the project.
Okay, thank you.
Related to cost, we're conscious about making sure that our project can pencil in through the pro forma. You have approximately about a 3% fee. Is that something that you'd be willing to discuss reducing?
We're always open to discussion, whether that's compromising on some things on our end and compromising on your end as well. So we're definitely open to that discussion.
All right, I got another one. Given the current situation with ISO insulation and roofing, have you guys started looking at working with manufacturers and getting in some sort of queue?
Yes, sir. So that is part of our aggressive start strategy. They're part of subcontractor priority number 2 as detailed. So the first priority is going to be coming right out of the ground. And so that's 418, notice to proceed. We're going to go ahead and sign up the first priority. 15 days after that is the second priority, which is part of the roofing. We would like to enter the queue, and that is also why we have the TPO going on such at a later date, because we don't want to hold up the project, and we're willing to take the risk to hurry up and get everything built for you all to make sure our roof is there.
And last question, have you guys captured any roof escalation costs with that? Or is that something you're going to ask us to help with?
That would be part of the owner contingency that we have built into general conditions.
Okay.
All right, we've got time for one last question, and that'll wrap us up.
So in the current market, there's been a lot of escalation happening. This budget was established almost 2 years ago, the owner budget. What is your plan to keep this project at our budget, including all of the recent escalations?
I think that partially with our history of our work in Austin and knowing the subcontractors and the vendors really well, hopefully we'll be able to work with them to get good prices and have them sign that these prices will remain, so it's not put on either of our plates.
We also believe in an immediate buyout. We currently have the purchasing power and capital to go ahead and move forward with the 50% down payments on the procurement to get the items on site. And the faster we can get it there, the faster we can get into that queue, order, faster we can get a price to you all that is guaranteed rather than waiting for, say, the 60 days for payment and then we go ahead and pay the subcontractor. So by that partnership, which we hope to develop with Hensel Phelps, we can move forward with the project at a lower price, and we understand the escalation than what it should be.
All right, well, thank you for that, and thank you for taking the time to submit a response to the RFP and for putting your presentation together. We definitely appreciate all your efforts. We'll be reaching out shortly with any additional questions. Thanks.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.